And so once I let go of trying to make things happen, something else, which turned out to be, pretty good for the time that it was,
Hmm.
but it was good. But it was like, okay, let me trust this voice, and I will always remember. Just don't do something. Sit there. Yeah, you know,
And then
make,
heeding the voice, which we've also talked about before,
yeah, yeah,
and knowing the difference because it comes through loving and kind and gentle
right,
and simple, just a
yeah,
simple little command. And whereas our ego is a little blah blah, a little bossy, a little, what's wrong with you?
right,
So those aren't the voices we're heeding. We're heeding the ones that just come in really gently,
yeah,
and every time, right on, spot
yeah.
on.
Welcome to Eugene Holden's Academy of Self-Mastery, where transformation meets action. I'm Eugene Holden. I'm one of your guides on this journey of personal growth, mindset shifts, and deep self-awareness. Each episode, we dive into the tools, wisdom, and strategies you need to break through limitations and step into your highest potential. No fluff, no shortcuts here, just real conversations, practical insights, and a community dedicated to mastery in every area of life. So, if you're ready to unlock your power, elevate your mindset, and create a life by design, then let's get started. Welcome to Eugene Holden's Academy of Self-Mastery. Welcome to the deep end. Welcome to another episode of Eugene Holden's Academy of Self-Mastery. Of course, I'm Eugene, and this is my beautiful co-host this month. The month of December is the fabulous Ell Graniel. And we're just going to get right into it. We were speaking about, the tool of AI and all of the technology that's going on. And I was just about to say before I hit the recording, which had me hit the recording, is um, with all that's going on and people doing what they're doing, and as you said, people, we used to go out to shop, um, and there's still, I think, Elle, this need. I'm going to say it like this need of a spiritual connection.
Mm,
Or if people don't want to hear or feel into the spiritual connection, but that human connection,
yeah.
which is still spiritual connection. Just don't tell the humans that. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And, so we were speaking, earlier about, well, let's go into, I don't know what we're going to go into, Al.
Well, you know what? I do want to remind you, I don't remember how many weeks back it was, but we did a whole podcast on AI.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can refer back to that one, whatever it might have been. And so people, because I think we put a lot of controversial thoughts in there.
Yes.
Um, food for thought is a
Yeah.
nicer way to say it. So it'd
Yeah.
be great to have people look at it and comment
Yeah.
about the opinions of people in their 60s versus the opinions of people, in their 20s.
Yeah. You brought up an interesting thing, and I didn't think about it until you mentioned it, that, the generation behind us, the Gen X, would be the last generation that, how did you put that?
Did stuff
That did stuff, that went out and did
physically.
stuff, physically did stuff,
Mhm.
you know? It's amazing. And so folks get that we're not knocking it because we use this stuff as well. It's just an interesting, thing to look at the evolution and the change of this beautiful thing called life and all the
Yeah.
tools that we as human beings get to create. Oh, there was something that you said during that episode on AI. Oh, come on. Because it was a great phrase that you said that I can't remember. I have to go back to listen to it again or to watch it. That humans are, never mind. I was hoping that I would prompt something
Humans
there.
are amazing.
Humans are amazing. Humans are amazing.
Yeah.
So and in terms of today and trying to get things to work for us, because as you know, we're in this beautiful, crazy time. It's a
Mhm.
crazy time. It's a beautiful time, but also a little crazy time to be alive. And I love one of the things I say, Al, is those of us who were born at a time to be here now, we're here on purpose. It always seems to come back to
Mhm.
purpose, right?
Mhm.
And so, in wanting to have our lives expand and to grow and to tap into that purpose, and sometimes it can seem hard, and
Yeah.
and we want to make things happen. You like that one, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Elle and I were speaking earlier about this, and it's like, we're not here, don't make it happen, make it welcome. Right. So let me
Mhm.
ask you, El, what comes up for you in hearing that? Don't make it happen, make it welcome.
Well, being a long time since the origin of Star Trek,
Ah,
and it was make it so,
make it so.
make it so, right? And so it makes me think of making something happen takes effort. There could be resistance, there could be challenges in making something, right? When an artist throws down the clay, right? It doesn't land in the shape of the statue and such. So we are constantly making things happen, yet when we welcome it, then part of the work can be done easily for us, rapidly, properly, and under grace. So when we
Mm,
remember we don't have to make it, we can welcome it, and it could knock on our door and just show up,
yeah.
you know? Like we no longer have to make so many things food wise, right? And
Mm,
they can literally show up at the door now.
right.
So welcome them in. Uh, we say it one more time because I have something that's floating on that thought.
So don't make it happen. Don't try to make it happen. Make it welcomed.
Make it welcome. That's what it is. Make it welcome, meaning that it wants to come in. That means making it easy,
Yeah.
making it welcome. Because many of us have had this experience where we're banging our heads against the wall, metaphorically, like, why isn't this working?
Right.
I'm doing everything right. Well, we haven't made it welcome.
Yeah.
We've held it at arm's length, saying, unless it looks like this, it can't happen. And then when we can make it welcome, it can show up in a way grander than we
Yeah.
even thought was possible.
Yeah. Yeah. That is so beautifully said. And I I'm sure like you, I've had that experience as well. It's interesting that once I stopped trying to make it work, or trying to make it happen and then just to let go. Yeah, I do what I'm supposed to do. I do what I'm called to do, but not from a
Hmm.
place of I gotta make it happen. And once I let that go, then as you said, things just open up and they can come in so many different ways that I wasn't even looking for. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There was an aspect of my business that I had been trying to make successful for 5 years with my book, The Team Whisperer, for management communication skills and raising emotional intelligence and all that good stuff. And it just what people were going, that's great. That's amazing. Everybody needs that. But nobody was hiring me to do the program. 5 years. Finally, I said, I guess I'm barking up the wrong tree.
Mm,
I'm getting the support, people are agreeing, but financially, it's not turning into anything. So I said, okay, took it off my website, took down the modules in the work, got two, got two assignments.
mm,
As soon as I let it go,
yeah.
out of the woodwork, apparently, seemingly,
Right.
two people said, remember that? Like 2 years later, people I had talked to, and one person was somebody I met through somebody else, very random. It was a random conversation.
Mm,
So again, looking back, it's like I didn't do anything wrong.
right.
I wrote the book, I made the modules, I promoted it. It was all over LinkedIn. It was this, that, and the other thing, and nothing. So I still don't know. So I've let go of that. What did I do wrong?
Mm,
And I let go of saying like, well, I did all that effort and now it's just going to be easy.
yeah,
That's my take.
yeah,
And that's the other thing too, is figure out what's behind this. Why is it so difficult? And let it go. And when we let go, sometimes the brain goes, ah,
yeah.
and then we can start getting some knowledge that's been there the whole time, but we weren't welcoming it. We were
Right.
holding it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it is a struggle trying to make it work. Um, and what I loved what you said about, when you let go of that aspect that says, okay, I must have been doing something wrong. Why isn't this working? I'm doing something, I'm not doing something right, right? And it's not that at all, you know.
Mm-mm.
And now it's not, I think it's a good thing to look at, okay, so what else can I do? And for me, it got to the point in one of the businesses that I had many years ago. It's like I remember this so clearly. God, this goes back 20 plus years. And I was a massage therapist.
Yeah.
Um, this was right before the International Academy of Self-Knowledge came into my life.
So 30
Actually,
years ago,
hmm?
more than 30 years ago.
Yeah. In fact, this is
Hmm.
how I met Mr. Gibbs.
Mm.
Beautiful, right? So this one morning, I mean, at first, well, business was going well, had clients, everything was going right. I'm moving and grooving, right? And then all of a sudden, it seemed like all of a sudden, business just went,
Mm.
and I'm like, okay, well, I need to do more, get more flyers out and do all of that marketing. And one morning, Elle, I get up to go pass out flyers. That's when we passed out flyers. And the voice said, just don't do something, sit there. Now, usually it's just don't sit there, do something,
Right?
right? This was just
Yeah.
don't do something, sit there. I'm like, well, okay. So I sat down and got still. And 20 minutes later, I had this I had this hit to go up to Agape during the day. So I go up there, it's during the day, and I walk into the bookstore and someone is on the phone and she goes, hang on, I think I have just the right person here. And it was Richard Gibbs.
Ah.
Right? And and I started the next day, which was it was like just don't do something, sit there. So
Mhm.
again, going back to don't make it happen, make it welcome. And so
Make
once
it.
I let go of trying to make things happen, something else, which turned out to be, pretty good for the time that it was.
Hmm.
But it was good. But it was like, okay, let me trust this voice. And I will always remember, just don't do something, sit there. Yeah,
And then heeding the voice, which we've also talked about before,
yeah, yeah,
and knowing the difference because it comes through loving and kind and gentle
right.
and simple, just a
Yeah,
simple little command. And whereas our ego is a little blah blah, a little bossy, a little, what's wrong with you?
right.
So those aren't the voices we're heeding. We're heeding the ones that just come in really gently,
Yeah,
and every time, right on, spot
yeah.
on.
And that's a practice too, right? To
Hmm.
be in tune with that voice.
Hmm.
Because along with that voice, for me, there's a feeling to it.
Yeah.
As you said, there's a gentle way that it speaks, but it's not only speaking gentle, you can feel there's this peace to it. And
Yes.
there is an assurance. There is a knowing. Like, okay.
Yes.
And I'm sure I may be the only one who has ever done this who would hear the voice, of assurance and go, nope, I'm not doing that. That can't be it. That can't be right. Like, okay, if you say so, and that's the other thing I love about being so beautifully crafted as human beings is that we have this beautiful gift of choice, that I can listen to
Mm,
it and then obey it, let me get, okay,
yeah,
again, just don't do something, sit there and then got that message. Let's go here now.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So two things about that. So number one, this is something everybody listening can do. So I have a client who wants exactly that, improve that connection, right? Because he's not hearing it. He's saying, I don't hear it. And so his unofficial homework for the week is when he gets in his car, close his eyes and breathe real deep and full for 90 seconds. You don't need a timer, just, and then listen and see if you hear something. Then you get where you're going. Before you get out of your car, close your eyes, 30 seconds, 90 seconds, 2 minutes, and just slow down with the breath. Get
Yeah.
out of the hustle and bustle. Maybe you'll hear something, maybe you won't,
Right.
but that will increase your connection because you're slowing down enough to put the ego in the back seat for just a minute
Yeah.
and hear something, right?
Yeah.
So he's getting great success with that.
Oh,
He's
great.
been sharing with me, yeah, which I love. And then the other thing is people have trouble with willingness and free will. So if I have free will, then why do I need to give it over to God?
Hmm.
And the short answer is we have free will. Do I want the tacos or the hamburger? Do I want cereal? Do I want this book or that book? Do I want to go to that party this weekend or not? All we have the free will of choice, choice, and choice. We have the free will to listen to the voice or not. When we're giving it over is when we say, I've done everything. I'm laying it at your feet. I have nothing left. I am giving you the will. I'm giving up my choice. That's when we do it, right?
Right.
That's why it's in the big book.
Right.
You know, there was something outside of us we had to realize. And so I think that's important for people to understand that we do have free will, and every choice we make does send us down a slightly different path.
Right. Right.
And eh, eh, you know, for better or for worse, lessons to learn or great things to happen. And at those times, when as a human you have no next step, you have no thoughts about how this is going to go, then you sit back and just give it over.
Yeah.
What is it? Then now we're back to Scotty. I've given it all I've got, Captain.
Right. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. The influx capacitor. It's about to blow. And what I want to also say about that, when we I like to use the word, when we give it over to that to God, to spirit,
mhm.
to that divine intelligence. What I want people to know is that it's not separate from us.
Right,
It's a
right.
part of us. It's that part of us that that guides us when we allow it.
When we allow it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Going go ahead.
I was just going to say, allowing goes back to willingness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
And the willingness to make it welcome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll say that
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am going to go when we're finished. I'm going to go buy a mat for my front door that says welcome.
Oh, there we go. Just make sure you clean your feet before you come in, but you're welcome. You know. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And before we go off, oh, I thought it was more time. Then never mind. I thought it was later. Um, but I wanted to touch on, we were speaking before you went on, Elle, about universal qualifiers.
Mm,
So folks, a universal qualifier is something that we people say a lot of the times, like, this happens all the time.
hmm
You're like, all the time? you know. Um,
Mhm.
Everything always seems to go either right or wrong, right? But everything? So what is your take, my dear friend, on universal qualifiers?
I've been knowing this now for over 25 years, and it's still randomly a struggle. And I find it fascinating how we can know something, but then forget to use it, but think it's still going to serve us.
Hmm.
Right. And so I told you that I've been teaching these NLP basics classes again, and universal qualifiers are such a big part of what we're taught, to just lump everything in for ease. So when I started, I said something along the lines of humans are amazing. My brain first said all humans are amazing, and then I thought that's not true for that adjective. Like not all humans are amazing. All humans, so because some are challenging, some are, um, so just removing the universal qualifier is all that needs to happen, right? And then that can't happen unless you're even aware that you're saying it.
Yeah.
So everybody, every time, always, never. And this is a great communication skill with your partner or especially with teenagers. So if your teenager comes in the door and slams it and says, everybody hates me. I hate school. I'm never going back. So you diffuse the universal qualifier with a very nice tone universal qualifier. So they slam the door, everybody hates me, and you say, everybody? Well,
Exactly.
just the
Well,
popular kids. Now you're getting somewhere
yeah.
because with the universal qualifier, there's nowhere to go because it's too broad. And it's not true.
Right.
If somebody says to me, you're always late, I'm going to say always. you know,
Right.
because I can think of times when I wasn't. And then it comes more back to, well, you're always late when it matters. Okay,
Hmm.
now we have a conversation.
Right.
I've hurt your feelings. Let's talk about this. And it's happened before, so let's talk about it,
Yeah.
as opposed to just throwing those universal qualifiers out there. It always rains on my birthday. Well, okay, maybe that's true. And do you want to keep that your truth? Or would you like to start saying, wouldn't it be nice if this year it was great on my birthday? You
Yeah.
know,
Right. Right.
just soften the edges a little.
Yeah. And if it does rain, go out and dance in the rain on your birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
All
know
of,
that you said that, so I'm sharing up something publicly that's very private. One of the things that's on my rainbow butterfly list, because bucket list is horrible, is to dance in the rain with somebody who loves me.
hmm,
And it hasn't happened yet.
hmm.
And I've been intending it for about 5 years. And I've even told a few people when I've been in relationships, and it still hasn't happened. And so now I choose to not welcome it in. The words that you use are I like.
Don't make it happen. Make it
Mhm.
welcome.
So I want to make it welcome that
Yeah.
this is a possibility for me.
Yeah.
Stop trying to make it happen, which I've been
Right.
doing in the past. So now I'm just
Right.
going to welcome it as a possibility,
Yeah.
right? So those universal qualifiers now, if we will start listening to always, never, everybody, all the time, we can start to cut the cord of that's not our reality anymore, simply by stop shifting how we talk about it.
Which brings up, the practice of listening to what we say, in which, it's an interesting thing, because we are both in fields where that's what we do is we listen.
Mhm.
Gerald T, used to say, I listen to everything that you say because I care about you. I
Mm.
listen to every word you say. So which means for me, so well, let me really be clear in listening to what I am saying, because words are creative.
Hmm.
And so when I find myself going, God, this happens all the time. Well, I am creating more of that vibration for it to happen more often. Maybe not all the time, but in my mind, in that particular instant, to me, it feels like it's all the time. See, this never works. Never?
Yes. Yeah, and the neuroscience behind that is because our brain is always looking for what we're creating with our
Yes.
words and our thoughts. So then the brain goes, oh, there it is again. Oh, there it is again. There it is again. Instead of pointing out, oh, look, it didn't happen.
Right.
So we get the reinforcement because we've asked our brain to be aware of those universal qualifiers
Yeah.
instead of the softer versions of
Yeah.
them.
So if we are wanting to change our lives in any form or fashion, what
Hmm.
I would invite people to do is listen to the way that you speak,
Hmm.
you know, and listen to the way that you think. Interesting way I said that. Listen to the way that I think because, words are thoughts that are, expressed, and thoughts
Hmm.
are words not expressed out through the vocal cords, but they're still
Yeah.
words, right? They're
Yes.
still thoughts and our thinking. We again so beautifully crafted as human beings that we get to create by our thoughts.
Hmm.
Whew, we don't want to take that for granted.
When I hear something in my mind, my own voice saying something that I don't like, um, can't think of anything right now, but let's just make of an example like, oh, today's going to be a long day. I will say, who said that? I'll say it out loud, right?
Mm,
I'm alone. And who said that? Because, like, nope, none of that's going on in here.
right.
Whoever that antiquated thought and insecure person that got caught up in something decades ago is still trying to run the show.
Hmm.
Because for me, there's never a long day. There's big days, there's full
Right.
days, there's exciting days, but there's not long days. And the reason why I say that is because a long day psychologically makes us go like this
Yeah.
before we even get out of bed.
Right.
So it goes back to the power of our word choice.
Yeah.
Think before you speak,
Yeah.
and even then, sometimes modify before you release it
Yeah.
with vibration, our voice.
You know what comes up for me, El, when I hear that, God, it's going to be a long day. No, it's
Hmm.
the same hours that it was yesterday, right? It's the same
Yeah.
amount of time. But I like what you said. It's going to be a full day.
Hmm.
And usually it can be a full day of things that we like doing,
Yes.
or a busy day. Okay, great. I love being busy doing what I love doing,
Hmm.
Thank God for
Hmm.
calendars.
I know. People ask me often, when are you going to retire? It's like, never. Because when
Retire.
you love what you do, you're not working.
Exactly.
And this stuff will never be put behind me. It will always be part of my life. So
Yeah.
I use two universal qualifiers in a positive way because there's
Mm-hmm.
exceptions to every rule,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when you use one, let yourself know. What did one of the ladies say in class? She said something like, I have to go to Disneyland because that's like another one have to, right? You
Right,
don't
right.
have to do anything. She goes, I disagree. I have to go to Disneyland. There's no exception. There's no other possibility. And so in that case, she's using it for power,
Right.
right? Not like, I have to, pick the kids up from soccer practice and get, whatever. So when we're choosing our words, pause for just a moment, 1 second, and ask ourselves, is that what I want to unleash?
Yeah.
Make true.
Yeah. And I'm going to add something to that as well, El, and tap into what the feeling is behind the word. For example, God, I have to go to Disneyland, or I have to go to Disneyland. I can't wait to go. So
Uh-huh.
what I call that your come from, so where are you What's the come from? What's the feeling that's behind those words? You know, because people would say, because I'm like, oh man, I have to go do this. No, Eugene, you get to do that. I'm like, well, hang on. What if I really, really enjoy doing it and I have to do it because it brings me so much joy?
Exactly.
You know, I have to do this. You know, I have to do this podcast because it brings me so much joy.
Mhm.
You know, not just doing the live part, but the behind the scenes too. You know, I love that stuff. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So going back
Intention.
to that, you know, that the gift of choice, we get to choose how we show up and how we speak and how we think and how we feel about the way we speak and think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautifully crafted human beings.
Yes. You said something that made me think a little bit about how when people say, um, oh, he made me mad,
Oh, don't get me
and we
started.
talk about choice and stuff, right? So then there's the other school of thought, nobody can make you feel a certain way, right?
Right.
It's a choice that you're making. And I like the middle ground, the Venn diagram of those are emotions you're allowed to have.
Right.
And then ask yourself, are they serving you?
Mhm.
Is that how you want to continue to be feeling about this situation?
Yeah.
So if we were talking earlier when I was saying AI voices make me grumpy,
Hmm.
right? And so that's a choice. And so I ask myself, well, do I want that to be my reality? That every time I hear an AI voice, it's going to make me grumpy? And then that shifted to, well, I have the choice when I hear AI voices on YouTube and such. I can watch another show. I can
Right.
find there's millions of things to listen to.
Right.
You can get the same information, not AI voice.
Right.
So I recognize that's the emotion, and then I ask myself, do I want to continue to feel that way? And if not, then how can I shift it?
Yeah.
So if somebody makes you feel a certain way, really look at why and how, analyze it, put it under
Right.
the microscope.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that question. You know, it's interesting. There are some schools of thought in spiritual counseling that say don't ask the client why, you know, well, why are you feeling that way, or why are you, you know, and it's like, well, no, I think that's a good question, you know. So especially to ask myself, okay, so why does that hit me the way that it is? You know, this AI makes me grumpy. Well, let's look at that. Why
Hmm.
is that? You know, what is it about it, and whatever the answer is. And I love what you said. Then I can, you know, choose to do something else. You know,
Hmm.
I've had clients, or I have said to clients, you know, I feel bad about this. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. How long do you want to feel like that? I mean, it's okay. You know, and because that's if that's
Exactly.
where you are, great. And how long do you want to do that?
Hmm.
You know, I'm not trying to get you out of that. I just want to ask you the question. How long do you want to stay there? And you can stay there all day if you want. It's okay.
Yes, exactly. The other thing about why that was just reminding me is why can be powerful. You know how a lot of people talk about what's your why?
Yes.
Okay, so that's valuable.
Right.
And, why am I feeling this way? Valuable question.
Right.
Where it will trip you up is when you put it with the universal qualifier. Why does this always happen to me?
Ah, yes.
Then your brain will go, because you're lazy, because you're naming.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a bad combination.
Right.
Why in a universal qualifier? Why
Yeah.
do I never get what I want?
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that kind of just dawned on me right
Good
now.
catch. Good catch. Yeah. Yeah. You know, and I love what you just said. That just dawned on me years ago. You remember using that, wasn't the phrase, but it hit me like a ton of bricks, right? Well, but it's really the same. Well, this just dawned on me. Hit me. I'm like, well, isn't that a little a violent way to say this is a great idea? Hit me with a ton of bricks. No, it just dawned on me. Again, you know, and we're not here to be the language police. And
Right.
and
And
words are important.
hmm
Words are creative.
hmm
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
are. and they
Yeah.
have the vibration.
Mm-hmm.
And oh man, I'm having a tip of the tongue phenomenon. There's the Japanese research Emoto.
Yeah.
Uh,
Water.
yes.
Yeah.
So words on the water and showing the crystalline of each one. And the loving and kind words look like beautiful snowflakes, and the mean, hate, ugly look like jagged pieces. And that's something like I kind of already knew because you
Mm-hmm.
can feel it.
Right.
When you get compliments, you feel
Right.
beautiful, right?
Right.
And when somebody's putting you down, you feel dense. And but it was beautifully illustrated for people who are visual learners,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so it just reminds me constantly that my word is a vibration
Yeah.
and that it's going well beyond me,
Right.
even beyond the heart, which they say is about 6 feet energetically.
Right.
But the voice, you can hear people 20 feet from you,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
And so we touch other people physically with the vibration of our
Yes.
voice. It vibrates them.
Yes. It does.
So let's vibrate ourselves to health and happiness. And that's not to mean things don't go wrong.
Right.
That's not to mean that we're not ever confused and having sense of hopelessness. It means that when we're feeling that downward vibration, to find what's the one step higher,
Yeah.
because it's difficult to go from things feel hopeless to, hey, don't worry about it. Everything happens for a reason. Okay, you
Right.
want to hurt the person that says that to you
Right.
because it's too big of a gap up
Right.
for reality, right? So if I'm feeling this way, what's my next step? My thought is, and it won't always be this way.
Right.
Can we believe that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then how we speak to our head in our own thoughts, get it straight here first, and then what we vibrate will fall easily into place.
Right. Very nice
Yeah. Talk to
indeed.
yourself like you would a 5-year-old. You wouldn't call a 5-year-old an idiot because they couldn't find something. I hope not.
Right.
And so instead, what would you say to yourself? Like, well, next time I'm going to put it where it belongs.
Mm-hmm.
Something you tell a 5-year-old, put it where it belongs and
Put
it'll
it where-
always be there for you.
Right. Yeah. Um, there's this little song. I think it's called Shine. Anyway, there's this rapper who does his thing, which is great stuff. The message is great. And he says at the end, you got to talk to yourself like, no, you got to talk to yourself like you're in love with yourself.
Mm,
And I love the way he put that pause there, right? You got to talk to yourself like you're in love with yourself. So if I were to leave the audience with anything today, is it would be that,
mm,
well, two things. Don't make it happen, make it welcome. And to talk to yourself like you're in love with yourself.
mhm.
Yeah. What would you leave us with today, Elle?
I think I would go back to giving the breath in the car a chance
Oh, beautiful. Yes.
because it's easy, it's free,
Yes.
and you can't be worse off for doing it.
Yeah.
It's my honest belief that you will be amazed at how much better off you'll be going forward.
Yeah. Yeah. We can do a whole thing on breath and how important and how beautiful that is.
Mhm.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do that the next time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's a next time for us.
There is a next time for us. And we are inviting you to be there the next time here on Eugene Holden's Academy of
Yes.
Self-Mastery. Go out and make it a beautiful day, or welcome a beautiful day
Yeah.
while you make
Welcome.
it a beautiful day.
Mhm.
Peace and blessings, everyone.
Peace and blessings. Love it.